I'm Liam O'Reilly. I'm with Studio O'Reilly. I'm a web developer and content creation specialist here in Auburn, Washington. So let's get right into it. We're here in SiteGround. As you can see, I'm already signed in. I'm going to come over here to this tab and hit websites. You can see this list of websites here that I manage. I'm going to hit new website, and it's as simple as that. We can choose now, do we want to use a new domain or an existing domain or a temporary domain? Since this is just for a tutorial, I'm going to select a temporary domain, and then it gives us our temporary domain right here. As you can see, it's pretty long and unyielding. The domain is usually going to be your first name, last initial, and then the number of websites you've set up to this point, obviously, .sg, which stands for SiteGround-host.com. And as you can see, it's free, and I am all good with that, so I'm going to hit continue. Now that we've selected Start New Website, we can choose to install WordPress as our site builder. We can also choose to install both WordPress and WooCommerce in one single fell swoop. We can also choose Weebly Site Builder, but I'm going to go with the WordPress and WooCommerce. WooCommerce is pretty much the standard for e-commerce, which is anything you want to sell online. We're going to set up some login details. We're going to go liam@test.com, and we're going to generate a password. And since this is a test website, I don't care if you see that. All right, and now that we have our login credentials, it's very important that you do create login credentials here, because this will be what you'll use to actually access the back end of your website once it's created. You can skip and create an empty site, but we're not going to. It's asking if we want to install a site scanner to enhance the site protection. I'm not going to bother since this is a test. I'm just going to click finish, and it's going to think for a little bit. While we're waiting, hi Taylor Swift. My wife and I are coming to your concert in July, and I am so excited. And this claim here, it takes less than 2 minutes to complete the website creation process. That's actually usually true. I don't think I've ever actually timed it, but it's usually pretty quick, so I wouldn't worry too much. But it is enough time to go pour yourself a cup of coffee. And we are all set. It gives you some options here. You can either view your site, or you can access your WooCommerce admin, or go to Site Tools. Site Tools is going to take you to another portion of SiteGround, which is very helpful, and you can do all your settings and preferences and stuff like that. So I'm going to ignore that for now. That's for another time, and come over here to go to site. It opens it up in a new tab. And we are mind blown, apparently. WordPress thinks we're mind blown. And it is pretty mind blowing, actually, that we can create a website in, what has it been, 5 minutes total? And that's with me explaining things. What a world, right? So it's got some filler titles and text and, a couple of buttons and things. This is not functional yet, so the get in touch button obviously doesn't do anything. It's not secure because we don't have an HTTPS secure setting, and I'll show you how to do that in another time. But the important thing is that the URL is functional. So if you type this into the search bar, you will be taken to your new website. So you may be wondering, how do I actually get into the WordPress backend? This is great, we've got a website, but I want to actually build my website. Come on. And this is where those login credentials come in handy. I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Copy, paste from an unsecure document. All right, so SiteGround is going to give you a little bit of a tutorial. It says, we know learning WordPress takes time. To give you a jump start, we've prepared a quick customization wizard that will assist you in choosing design and adding functionality to your site in a few easy steps. So we're going to hit start now. And this is the fun part. WordPress has thousands, and I mean thousands, of themes. Many of them are free, many of them are not free, but you can choose what your website will look like from the very beginning. You can start with a good design. So depending on the kind of website you need, whether it's a blog or if you are a photographer and you're trying to have sort of an online gallery of your work, you can choose a website to fit your fancy and to fit the work that you're putting up. And a lot of the theme names will reflect the type of website that it is, like this adventure travel blog. You don't get much more explicit than that. You can go as flashy or as minimalist as you want. Now, it doesn't really matter what design you go with. What's going to matter is the content you put on your site. Let's go with this Modern Design Solutions one. You can see here it's free, so we can hit select, and it will bring us to some more options that SiteGround is trying to take us through. Do we want to create an online shop? Sure. Do we want the ability to put a map on our website so that people can get directions to our place and sort of see where we are in the world? Sure, let's do that. These are free plugins by Google Maps, by WooCommerce, by WP Forms, and it gives you a little description of what each one of these will do. If you want to, you can also make your site multilingual. This is a good thing for accessibility. And let's go ahead and do a gallery as well. You're going to scroll down and click Continue. You also have the option to go to the previous page or exit this tutorial altogether. So you can automatically install Google Analytics. I highly recommend this. All right. It also is going to want you to install a plugin to optimize for SEO. That's search engine optimization. It's really important. You don't understand how important SEO is, because you can have all the content you want on your website, but if it's not optimized for browsers, if browsers don't know what is on your website, users are never going to see it because they use browsers to get to your website. So SEO is very important, and if you want help with SEO, you can call me at 509-386-7521 or email me at studiooreilly@gmail.com. I'm happy to help you out with your SEO or your site building or content generation for your website. But let's go ahead and click Optimize for SEO and grow subscribers list. Like I said, all of these options are good. They've put a lot of thought into these options. It's going to install these things. Remember to spay and neuter your pets. Waiting can be fun, right? Not sure about that, actually. Congrats, your site is ready. We have successfully completed the installation of the items you selected. You may now proceed to your WordPress dashboard and start managing your site. Let's just do that, why don't we? So we're gonna go to dashboard. This is the moment we have been waiting for the entire video. I don't know how far we are into the video because I haven't edited it yet, but it's been a while, right? All right, we're at the good stuff. So obviously it says dashboard up here and right here. So this is your dashboard. This is where you're going to spend a lot of time in between functions of WordPress. WordPress is a very complex program and it may seem overwhelming at first, but don't worry, I'm going to take you through the most important steps. Basically, let's do a quick overview here of WordPress. So you start in Home, and it gives you some options like view your site, manage your pages, change your design, and it even tells you what theme we've chosen. We've got Astra here. Now these cards are all just jumping off points to get you started. What really matters, what you want to do, is you want to come over here to this sidebar. This whole sidebar is going to be important. I want to start here in updates, and here you can see information about WordPress updates and the current version you're on. We're on 6.2. So if you're ever not sure what's wrong with your website, it may just behoove you to come over here to updates and see if you have the latest version and go ahead and update it if you don't. Although do be careful, make sure you have a backup of your website before updating it. That's important. And it also tells you about updates that may pertain to your plugins or your themes. It's important to note that these are drop-down items. So if we go to another place, let's click Posts, those options in the side menu disappear. Now I'm actually going to skip over Insights and SEO Statistics and Astra and Spectra because those are using specific plugins and programs, and they may not appear on every person's site depending on the options they choose during setup. So I'm going to skip down here to Posts, and you can click here or just go over to All Posts. No posts can be found. That's because we haven't created any. And I'll go over how to do so in a little bit. You just go up to Add New, click that, and then there's lots and lots of options. So that's what we're going to get into in the meat of this tutorial. You can also go to straight to Add New, and that's the same as clicking this button. Or you can go to Categories. This is pretty cool. You can add, this is where you add categories for your posts. Like if you want to organize your blog into different sections, say you have a blog about tropical fish and you want to divvy them up by region. Like I have no idea what regions fish live in. Anyway, you can create categories here and organize them how you wish. Let's go over here to tags. You can do the same thing here with tags, and tags are important because they have something to do with SEO, that search engine optimization we were talking about. So tags are important to your site because they are one way to let browsers know what your content is about, so that browsers know if they should choose your site to rank higher on the search engine results page to solve the user's problem. And I'll do another tutorial on categories and tags at another time. Let's head down here to the Media tab. You can see you've got two drop-down menu options. You've got your library or add new. Clicking library is the same as clicking here on media. So we're just gonna go right there. And lo and behold, we have some information already in here. We've got pictures already loaded up. I don't recognize any of these people, and you won't either. These are stock photos that come with the theme that we're using, which is Astra, and you will be able to click on any of these to see them in more detail. If you want to get rid of them, you can come over here to bulk select, and you can click on as many of these as you like, and then you can delete permanently. That's one of those permanent things, so be sure you want to do it. I'm going to hit cancel, but chances are you're going to upload all your own files here, all your own pictures and images. Speaking of images, just last week I did a tutorial on image compression with Photoshop, and I did a TikTok on image compression without Photoshop for free using TinyPNG. So go ahead and watch those videos. I'll put a link to each of them in the description. And just remember that image compression is one of the most important things you can do to your site because it helps with page load speed and keeps people on your site longer because they're not waiting for that circle to just endlessly. And you can also hit add new, and that's the same as coming up here to add new. Let's come down here to pages. This is going to be a lot like the posts section, except that it's pages. Now this is an actual web page. So it's got some dummy pages in here about, contact, home, portfolio, testimonials, and you can do all kinds of things with this quick edit. You can choose a parent page. So if you want one page to be a child page of another and show up like that in the menu, you can come over here to parent page and choose another one. You can rename it. You can choose its slug. Its slug is going to be the end part of the URL that comes after the .com. I'm just going to hit cancel, and there's a lot of options here. They're pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to hit cancel. Comments is an important section. You can manage them, delete them, approve them, or not approve them, block specific commenters, so you get the idea. Basically, all of these options here on the sidebar are different spaces within WordPress where you can manipulate the content that you put on your website. It's really amazing the thought that was put into WordPress. Like, the fact that just anyone can do this is incredible. You don't have to know any code, but if you do know code, you're that much closer to having full control over your website. It's really amazing. WooCommerce and products are sort of sibling tabs. The products refer to WooCommerce products. So you would come into products and create a product that would show up in WordPress or in WooCommerce. WooCommerce has all sorts of options that I'm not going to go through right now because that's a whole video in itself. With products, you can add new just like with a page or a post, and it's roughly the same options and process actually. Analytics is important because if you've got a website, you really need to keep an eye on how it performs. If you don't, then it's not going to perform very well. You need to kind of have your finger on the pulse of your users' and visitors' needs so that you can fulfill those needs. Because if you're not fulfilling a need, then what is your website really for? The analytics page is going to give you insight into your site's performance and some charts on how it's performing with visitors. You can go into an overview, insights, products, revenue. You can see where this is going. Endless options, really, with WordPress and WordPress plugins. So let's skip down here to marketing. The marketing page is going to show you all kinds of tools that you can use to grow your audience and to communicate with them, create a community. It's worth looking into. I'm going to skip over WP Forms. It's just a form builder. It's a good one, but I tend to prefer another form builder, which I'll show you in a minute when we get to the plugins section. One of the most important places that you'll go in WordPress is this Appearance tab. By the name, you may be able to guess that the Appearance tab has to do with how your site looks to people. You can manage your themes, you can customize options and even customize your CSS. So if you wanted to change your theme, for instance, we've got Astra active right now. So if we wanted to visit our site and see what it looks like right now, we could just copy that and paste it in here. And look at that, our website already looks beautiful, looks professional, it's got great design, and that's really because of the work that the theme builders have put into this. You don't have to do anything to get your website looking this good. But it's really good to know about web design because you don't want to start with a great theme and then sort of mess it up because you don't know design principles. But I'm going to close this and show you how to switch a theme if you want to. Say we wanted to change our theme, all we would have to do is we could see a live preview here, and it takes us to some more of the appearance options here. But this is what our website would look like if we were to change themes, and you can see all the same content is there. It's just that the alignment and the colors and fonts have changed. That's really all a theme is. It's a collection of CSS properties and values. So behind the scenes, a simple website uses HTML, hypertext markup language, and CSS, cascading style sheets, to style that structured data. HTML is the structure of the website. It's like the skeleton of the website. It's like saying, hey, here's a box, and in that box I'm going to have some text, and next to that text I'm going to have a picture, right? And then the CSS styles all of that so that you can have beautiful colors and fonts and spaces in between those things. You can add all kinds of animations using CSS. It's a beautiful thing. Once you're done with the live preview, you could come back here and click activate, and that would change the order of the themes listed here in the appearance tabs. We're actually in appearance themes. And if we were to go back to our site, paste that, hit enter, you can see that the effect has taken place. We have a new theme, but I like the other one better. So we're gonna go back and click activate on Astra. Good, and you can see if we just come back here and hit Command R if you're on a Mac to reload the page, we're back to that original beautiful Astra theme and all of the benefits that come with it. So let's go down to the next sub-tab here, Customize. This is an important one. You've got options like your font, in typography, everything you could think of, basically, you're gonna find in Appearance Customize. You can edit everything from which pages this is where you're gonna come to choose which pages are included in your top menu. This is where you're gonna come to do additional CSS. So if you wanted to make part of the theme disappear, say you didn't like this title here and you couldn't find a way to get rid of it, you could just come right click and hit inspect. And then you're gonna find H1 class. So this is a heading 1, so you're just gonna go heading 1. Display none, and see that disappears. This is just a tiny taste of the power of CSS. If you have time, learn CSS, and I will be happy to help you out with that. If you want to get in touch, or if you have questions about the language or about the syntax, please leave a comment. I would be happy to do tutorials on CSS. It's one of my favorite things to play with, so let me know. I'm gonna take this and delete it, and look at that. The heading is right back where we left it. CSS is a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna hit save or publish. It's important to note that before you exit any of these options, you have to click publish, or come over here and you can save it as a draft, that kind of thing. Because if you don't actively hit that button, it's not gonna remember anything you did. Also note that if you wanna go back one level, you can press this button. And if you wanna exit the entire appearance menu, you hit the X. I've done that more than a few times and it's just irritating. Another important one is this homepage settings. You can choose whether your homepage, you can choose which page acts as your homepage. Most people are going to leave it as home, and you can also choose whether your page is going to show your latest blog posts. Like if you're a blog, maybe you just want all your posts to show up on your homepage. That's great. So click that and it will be a dynamic page that will update every time you have a new post. Obviously we don't have any posts, so there's nothing there. But if you choose static page so that you know exactly what people are going to see when they open up your website, that's going to be good for most people. And then you can select this is an important one. Choose your posts page, all right? Create a page in the pages section and name it posts or blog or something like that. And then you come here to appearance and then name it blog or something, and then find it here and then make sure to hit publish, otherwise it won't work. Now we're back in dashboard, and I want to talk to you quickly about plugins. Plugins are these beautiful things. They're all listed here. They're basically extras that people have coded up for your ease and your quality of life. You can add a new one here. Now, before we were talking about WP Forms as a form builder. That's this one here, the little bear. I tend to prefer Formidable. So let's search that. And all you need to do to install a plugin is to find it, and you can hit learn more so that you know that you trust the plugin. It's important that you trust any plugin that you add to your website because it will be able to access the information on your website. Formidable is a good one. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of this and click install, and I'm gonna hit activate. And that allows us to use the plugin. It means that the plugin is active on our site and has information related to our site. It's gonna take you directly to the setup page. It's nicely designed and everything. What this plugin allows you to do is to create forms to take in information from your users. So if you wanted to collect information, like say you wanted to create an email list, you would create a form with Formidable and then add it to any of your pages using a shortcode, and you can add CSS later. It's just great. Just do it. Let's move on here. Say you're not the only person that's going to be editing this website. You're gonna come over here to your users tab, and it's got the usual options, all users or add new or profile. This is where you can view all of the people who have access to your site. So obviously I'm the only one. I'm gonna be set to administrator here in the roles section of the page. And you can even see some statistics like how many posts this particular user has added to this website. It's very useful. If you come over here to profile, you can choose all kinds of options related to your user. Let's go down to settings. This page is important. It's also a bit of a danger zone. If you want to switch your WordPress URL, your site address, you would do that here. Now, do not do this without knowing exactly what you're doing, because it will result in you losing access to your site, and you'll have to go back into your host and get access back, and it's just a pain. So don't do this. Within settings, you've got tons of options, everything from the format that your date will take to when the week starts on your website. You can come over here to writing and reading and discussion. All of these things have different options. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just go to settings, check it out. This is where you're going to do a lot of important things for your website. And that is the WordPress sidebar. Obviously, I've ignored a lot of options, and that's because there's just too many to have in one video and still make it useful. Congrats! You just learned how to install WordPress on SiteGround and go through its many and various settings. Good on you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I am Liam O'Reilly with Studio O'Reilly, and I hope you will like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this channel so you don't miss any more free tips. I'm going to be posting weekly videos like this. I always respond to comments. I'm happy to hear any feedback you have, any requests, any comments. The purpose of this channel is to share the knowledge that I have as a developer. You have the tools that you need at your disposal to run your website, and it doesn't have to be a nightmare. All it takes is education. I encourage you to take a look at my channel, browse through the videos. Just learn something new every day about your website, and you will feel less overwhelmed about all of the options, I swear. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Again, I'm Liam O'Reilly. I'm with Studio O'Reilly. I love making videos. I love teaching people how to use technology. It's one of my passions. So if you enjoyed this content, if you got something out of it, just like, subscribe, share my website, share my channel. I'm a new business, so I need as much exposure as I can get, and every little bit helps. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.